The cricket legend who walked away from millions to shovel manure, Shivnarine Chanderpaul's shocking choice will change how you see success forever. Shivnarine Chanderpaul wakes up at 5 in the morning on his Florida ranch, pulls on muddy boots and walks out to feed his cattle before the sun fully rises. This is the same man who once stood in front of packed stadiums with 50,000 people screaming his name. The same man who faced the most dangerous fast bowlers in cricket history without flinching. The same man who earned $40 million playing a game he loved. But right now, at 51 years old, he is shoveling manure, fixing a broken fence post, and checking on a pregnant cow who might deliver her calf today. No cameras follow him. No reporters ask him questions. No fans beg for autographs. Just dirt under his fingernails, sweat on his back, and a peace in his heart that all the cricket glory in the world never gave him. This is not a story about an athlete who lost everything and had to start over. This is about a man who had everything the world says you should want, then deliberately chose something completely different because he understood what actually matters in life. The story really begins in Unity Village, Guyana, where Shivnarine was born on August 16th, 1974, into a family so poor that dreams seemed like luxuries they could not afford. His father, Kemraj, worked back-breaking jobs just to keep the family fed, and the idea of buying proper cricket equipment was laughable when they barely had money for food. But young Shivnarine loved cricket with a passion that poverty could not kill. He watched other kids practice with real leather balls and proper bats, equipment his family would never be able to buy, so his father did something incredible. Kemraj took soft coconut balls from their yard and used those to train his son, throwing them hour after hour while Shivnarine practiced his batting technique with whatever stick or plank of wood they could find. No fancy coaching, no cricket academy, no wealthy sponsor paying for lessons. Just a father and son in a dusty backyard using coconuts because that is what they had. Building dreams out of nothing but determination and love. Shivnarine and his brother also worked as fishermen before school, waking up at 4 in the morning to cast nets into dark waters, hauling in their catch, selling the fish at market, then rushing to cricket practice covered in fish scales and exhaustion. While rich kids in England and Australia trained at elite academies with professional coaches watching their every move, Chanderpaul learned cricket in the gaps between survival. Those brutal early mornings on fishing boats taught him something that no cricket academy could ever teach. He learned that comfort is not required for greatness. He learned that excuses are just noise that weak people make. He learned that if you want something badly enough, you find a way or you make a way, even if that way involves practicing with coconuts and fishing all night just to eat. That foundation of hardship became his secret weapon later when he faced the world's best bowlers who grew up soft and privileged. When he finally got his chance to play serious cricket, everyone noticed something weird about his batting stance. He stood at an angle that looked awkward and uncomfortable, almost like a crab moving sideways toward the bowler. Cricket experts and commentators mocked it constantly. Coaches tried to fix it, telling him he would never succeed with such an unorthodox technique. Other players laughed behind his back. But Chanderpaul absolutely refused to change because that stance came from those years practicing with coconut balls in his backyard, and it worked perfectly for his body and his mind. He took all that mockery and doubt and used it as fuel, proving every single critic wrong by becoming one of the greatest batsmen cricket has ever seen. He scored over 11,000 runs in Test cricket, becoming the 9th highest run scorer in the entire history of the sport. Think about that. In over 140 years of international cricket, with thousands of players competing, he ranks 9th. That is not luck. That is pure skill combined with unbreakable will. In 2008, the International Cricket Council named him Cricketer of the Year, the absolute highest individual honor in the sport. This award goes to the player who dominated world cricket more than anyone else that year, and they chose Chanderpaul. But here is the statistic that really shows his character. He once batted for 1,513 minutes without getting out in a test match. That is over 25 hours at the batting crease, facing ball after ball, never losing concentration, never making a mistake big enough to get dismissed. 25 hours. Most people cannot focus on anything for 25 minutes without checking their phone. Chanderpaul stood there for an entire day and night of playing time, in scorching heat, with his body screaming in pain, facing bowlers trying to hurt him with balls traveling over 90 miles per hour, and he never broke. That record still stands today and probably will for decades because modern players do not have that kind of mental toughness anymore. Despite all this success and all the money pouring in from contracts and endorsements, something interesting happened. Chanderpaul did not change who he was. Most athletes who escape poverty and hit it big go crazy with their money. They buy 10 cars they will never drive, 5 houses they will never live in, jewelry that costs more than their parents earned in a lifetime, surrounding themselves with fake friends and expensive toys to prove they made it. Chanderpaul did the opposite. While playing for the West Indies cricket team, he made Florida his home base, initially just because it was convenient for traveling to matches across America and the Caribbean. The warm weather reminded him of Guyana. The privacy gave him space. But as years passed, something deeper took root in his heart. He started looking at land, real land, acres and acres where he could build something permanent for his family. He became fascinated with ranching. Not as a hobby or a status symbol, but as a real way of life. He spent his free time studying cattle breeds, learning about pasture management, understanding water systems and crop rotation. His cricket teammates thought he had lost his mind. They spent off days in casinos and strip clubs, chasing women and getting drunk, living the stereotypical athlete lifestyle. Chanderpaul drove out to rural Florida to look at properties and talk to old ranchers about the best practices for raising livestock. He read books about agriculture. He took courses on animal husbandry. While other players were getting arrested for drunk driving and making headlines for scandals, Chanderpaul was becoming an expert on something completely unrelated to cricket. People made jokes. The media called it a strange hobby, but he did not care even a little bit because he had learned long ago that living for other people's opinions is a prison that keeps you from real happiness. So he bought a ranch, a real working ranch with cattle and crops and everything that comes with that responsibility. This was not some gentleman's farm where rich people play cowboy on weekends. This was hundreds of acres that required real work every single day, and Chanderpaul committed to it completely. Even while his cricket career continued at the highest level, he spent every available moment at his property. Between matches, instead of resting in hotels or partying with teammates, he flew home to Florida and worked on his ranch. He learned to deliver calves when cows gave birth. He learned to fix machinery when it broke. He learned which crops grew best in Florida soil and how to rotate pastures so the land stayed healthy. His hands, which were famous for holding a cricket bat, became calloused from holding tools and fence posts. His wife Amy was his rock through all of this. They had married years earlier and built their relationship on something rare in the world of celebrity sports: actual love and respect rather than image and money. Amy never wanted the typical athlete's wife lifestyle of designer clothes, charity galas, and posing for cameras. She wanted a real partner who came home at night, a real home with stability, and a family life that meant something beyond social media posts. Chanderpaul gave her exactly that. Even during his busiest cricket years, when he traveled constantly for international matches, he called home every single day without fail. He rushed back between matches instead of staying in hotels partying. He made Amy and their children his absolute priority, which was almost unheard of for someone at his level of fame. Their son Shivnarine was born on May 31st, 1996, and from the moment that boy could hold anything, he reached for a cricket bat. The pressure on him must have been enormous. Imagine being the son of a cricket legend, knowing everyone expects you to be just as good, knowing you will be compared to your father for your entire life. But Chanderpaul handled it brilliantly. He did not force cricket on Shivnarine. He did not create a training program or hire expensive coaches or pressure the boy to practice constantly. Instead, he let his son discover his own love for the game naturally. Shivnarine grew up partly in Guyana with his mother Annalie in Unity Village, the exact same place where Chanderpaul learned cricket with coconut balls decades earlier. The family reunited in 2009 when Chanderpaul made more time to be present with them. And that is when father and son truly bonded over their shared passion for cricket. They practiced together on the Florida ranch, setting up nets in a field and bowling to each other for hours. But it was not famous father teaching awestruck son. It was two people who loved the game sharing that love together. Chanderpaul taught Shivnarine the technical skills, sure, but more importantly, he taught him the mental approach, the patience, the discipline, the ability to block out noise and focus only on the next ball. In 2017, something magical happened that made cricket history. Chanderpaul and Shivnarine became the first father and son since 1956 to both score 50 runs in the same first-class cricket match. They batted together, building a partnership that was about so much more than just runs on a scoreboard. It was about legacy, about a father passing something precious to his son, about a young man proving he belonged on the field not because of his last name, but because of his own skill and heart. By 2023, Shivnarine scored 207 runs, not out in just his 5th Test match for the West Indies, a double century that announced him as a serious talent in his own right. The family also includes a daughter named Ciara, who made the complete opposite choice. While her father and brother became public figures in the cricket world, Ciara chose total privacy. She stays completely out of the spotlight, living her life away from cameras and interviews and social media. Her parents respect that choice absolutely, because they understand something most celebrity families do not. Fame is not actually a blessing unless you want it. In a world where everyone fights for attention, where every athlete's family starts their own brand and monetizes their connection to success, the Chanderpauls stand completely different. Ciara's choice to remain private is honored and protected by parents who know that real love means supporting your children's choices, even when those choices reject the spotlight. When Chanderpaul finally retired from international cricket, most expected him to either disappear completely or launch himself into cricket commentary and celebrity life. Most retired athletes struggle terribly with life after sports. They miss the competition, the crowds, the feeling of being important and recognized everywhere they go. Many fall into depression. Some waste their money trying to recreate that high through expensive purchases and wild behavior. But Chanderpaul had already built something waiting for him: his Florida ranch and a completely different life that had nothing to do with cricket. He threw himself into ranching full-time with the same intensity he once brought to batting. He woke at dawn to feed animals. He spent long days mending fences, clearing brush, maintaining equipment. He went to bed exhausted but deeply satisfied in a way that cricket never quite achieved. There is something profoundly peaceful about working with your hands and seeing immediate results from your effort. When you fix a fence, it stays fixed. When you feed cattle, they grow healthy and strong. Ranching gave Chanderpaul something cricket could not: complete control over his environment and direct connection between effort and result. In cricket, you can play brilliantly and still lose because your teammates failed or the umpire made a bad call. On a ranch, your success depends almost entirely on your knowledge and work ethic. That appealed to him deeply, but cricket kept calling him back in a different form. In July 2022, USA Cricket appointed him head coach of both their women's senior national team and their under-19 team. This was perfect because it let him stay connected to the sport while maintaining his ranch life in Florida. Later that same year, he coached the Jamaica Talawas to the Caribbean Premier League title, proving he understood cricket just as deeply from the sidelines. In 2024, he became head coach of the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. Then in 2025, he took over as head coach of the Janakpur Bolts in Nepal's Premier League, leading the defending champions and bringing his expertise to a part of the world where cricket is still growing. This coaching career reveals something crucial about Chanderpaul's character. He genuinely cares about giving back to cricket and helping the next generation. He could have retired with his $40 million and never thought about cricket again. Instead, he travels around the world teaching young players, especially in developing cricket nations. In October 2025, he flew to Colorado to inaugurate a new cricket field with lights at the Thornton Sports Complex, bringing the sport to American communities where cricket barely exists. Back in Guyana and throughout the Caribbean, he runs youth cricket development programs and training camps, often funding equipment and facilities out of his own pocket. He remembers being that poor kid who could not afford a real cricket ball. So now he makes sure other poor kids with talent get the equipment they need. He provides educational scholarships for young athletes who have cricket skill but no money for school. Walking his land in the evening after feeding cattle, feeling the humid Florida air that reminds him of Guyanese weather, hearing nothing but crickets and frogs instead of crowds chanting his name. This is the life he deliberately built. His wife Amy loves the ranch life just as much. She tends a large vegetable garden that provides food for their table. She raises chickens that give them fresh eggs every morning. When Shivnarine comes home between cricket tours, they gather on the porch as the sun sets over their land, talking about batting techniques and life lessons in equal measure. This is what real wealth looks like. Not the sports cars and jewelry that other rich people display on Instagram, but time together without rushing, space to breathe without pressure, and freedom to live exactly how you choose. The ranch also gives Chanderpaul complete anonymity in his daily life. In rural Florida, most people do not follow Cricket or recognize him. He can go to the feed store to buy cattle supplies and just be another rancher in muddy boots. He can eat breakfast at a local diner without fans interrupting for selfies. This anonymity protects his family and allows them to build genuine relationships with neighbors based on who they are now, not what he accomplished decades ago. His $40 million net worth came from cricket contracts, endorsements, coaching salaries, and smart investments. But instead of living like a celebrity athlete with mansions and yachts, he lives like a comfortable rancher who happens to have excellent financial security. His vehicles are practical pickup trucks, not Lamborghinis. His daily wardrobe consists of jeans and work boots, not designer brands. The International Cricket Council inducted him into their Hall of Fame in November 2022, placing him among the greatest players in cricket history. That ceremony could have pulled him permanently back into the spotlight. Many athletes use Hall of Fame induction as a launching pad for speaking tours and book deals. Chanderpaul attended the ceremony, graciously accepted the honor, then went home to Florida and fed his cattle. For him, the Hall of Fame recognizes what he did in the past, but it does not define his present or future. Hit subscribe right now to see more incredible stories of people who rejected fame, chose family, and built lives.